I think if I had to choose between the two of them, which I'm thankful I don't, but if I had to choose between the two of them, I have to go with Rob Scott because let's face facts, Bob Doyle is an extra.
C'est le Lounge Show avec Rob Scott et Bob Doyle, deux diffuseurs vétérans qui aiment s'entendre parler et qui réussissent d'une manière ou d'une autre à se supporter. Voyons si vous pouvez les supporter aussi bien. Voici Rob et Bob.
The crowd goes from massive to our close family, who none of them are here.
It's like a school play versus Thanksgiving dinner.
Sure. My family has never seen, not one member of my family. I don't think, unless my mom early on caught us.
Yeah.
But nobody.
Do you think, did she?
I don't know. She would watch me and Tracy, so maybe. Anyway, we should probably tell the folks at home who we are, what we're doing here, and all that stuff. Because
Latbat is much more appealing. I could appreciate the fact that she would watch you guys.
Well, for those who don't speak French, they don't know what the show's about. I just realized it's been months since we've run it where we actually say two veteran broadcasters. It's always
no, we say it.
We do.
And
we say it in the context of the show, but the opening where she says that.
Well, in France, they know what we're saying.
Well, sure, and yes, our audience
it's
is huge in France.
9:00 on a Saturday.
Hello,
Yes,
I'm Bob Doyle,
and I'm Rob Scott,
and together we're Bob Doyle and Rob Scott. And
Scott,
I'm in Las Vegas, and he's in Atlanta, and that is the thing. And there is a Santa, and he's drinking tea, and because that is his thing. I am not wearing my diamond ring. We just got to keep this going.
No, thank you.
Come on. You can do this.
Come on, really? We're going to sit here
and rhyme the entire day, yes. All right, we won't, quitter.
Jon Stewart beat up somebody the other day. I'm sure it was political. It doesn't matter because we don't do politics on this show. But
can't even spell politics.
But he did give. Oh no, it was John Oliver, and he gave crap to some bit that some politician tried to do, but it didn't rhyme. And so he just made fun of the fact that it didn't rhyme at all. He did that. He just went off on that. If you're going to do it, you're going to start the thing, then finish with, and so we're not doing that tonight for the next 28 minutes. Wow.
Because Rob doesn't have, he just doesn't have the chops.
I don't. The mental gymnastics that would be required there. First of all, yes. Funny you mentioned that because today out of the normal routine for me. And I love the lounge routine.
Ooh, okay. But you do have tea in that mug, right?
I do, okay. But it was from this morning. And normally the lounge tea is freshly brewed and then will be used again tomorrow morning when I wake because I'll make a whole pot of tea. And I'm not going to caffeinate all night, so I'll have one cup of tea during the lounge show. But today I had to go over to I went over to a barbecue, sang with Mark and Kevin, and did that. We had a beautiful day in Atlanta. I sound like old guy.
That's great.
76 degrees, sat on the back deck, grilled chicken. I made a pasta salad. It was wonderful.
Somebody has to.
You want to know the secret to a good pasta salad, Bob? Fresh basil. That is your secret. Fresh basil.
Fresh basil could be the secret to a lot of things.
Fair point. No argument.
You kind of made a De Niro face there for just half a second.
I did?
You're kind of doing it now. Yeah. You kind of did a... Right before you said, "Can we watch it back?" Skippy.
Can he roll that back?
No, he's asleep at the wheel, and it's not. It's not even a wheel.
Which, by the way, is a favorite little country western band thing. A favorite of mine is "Asleep at the Wheel." That's the name of a group. Did you know that?
Probably. I mean, there's things I used to know and don't know anymore, or don't care to know, or can only be accessed in a traumatic situation. So how
was your week, Bob?
Let me think.
Okay, it was that eventful. You came up in conversation today on Deck Conversation.
Well,
the next song we're thinking of trying to work up the harmonies for is "Helplessly Hoping."
I don't know that song. Oh well, yes. You'd have to give me the hook or whatever to put the title with it.
Well, I just so happen.
No, I need you to sing it.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
I know, and I need you to sing all three parts, I guess.
I'll just the intro, and then you've heard this, but you must have. This is a late night. You've been drinking all day. It's the end of the party, and then you start playing Crosby, Stills and Nash.
No, you start playing Crosby. Oh, of course. Okay. Yes. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna get banned in several countries.
No, I know you always get paranoid about that. If they send a cease and desist, that means we are not. What's
insignificant.
the word? Insignificant. If we get a cease and desist, we're significant.
That's right. We do. We pay all these fees just to prove to Facebook.
I understand.
See,
we can't fool around in this. I understand we can't fool around in this backyard. This is your backyard, and this is where you earn somewhat of a living. You earn money with the interwebs, and therefore I wouldn't want to jeopardize your world. But I'd love a cease and desist from the agents or the people who have the rights to Crosby.
I'm taking this video off of YouTube.
See again. It's rice paper. I did all the radio time. We would get cease and desists all the time. But then again, we had a flock of lawyers.
Right, and all we got is a flock of seagulls.
Seagulls? Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Do you remember that book?
Of course.
Did you have to read that in school?
I didn't have to. I chose to later in life, in college. I think I read it after. I read it after I read Illusions from Richard Bach, same author, and then that book was so life changing for me, pivotal in my journey.
A milepost.
That then I went to see. Well, what else? Oh, he's the Jonathan Livingston Seagull guy. I mean, we had that book in my house growing up the whole time, and I had no idea. But yes, I'm familiar with it. Hey, wait! Right before we went on, what were we talking about? Because I said
Steve Martin.
Oh yeah,
Excuse me.
Yeah. We were talking about Steve Martin and the era of when excuse me, and the thing about that.
Happy feet.
That was when in 6th grade. That was sort of I know I've told you this. There's no way I haven't told you this. But this is when Steve Martin was, hosting Saturday Night Live every couple of months, it seemed like, and he was just like, we'd all stay up to watch it if he was on, and he was the thing. And he had just done one, and Excuse Me was a big part of it. And it was my first time seeing him, by the way. I didn't know who he was, so Excuse Me was the first bit I ever saw of his. Okay? So I brought that into school because I was asked to do a math problem or something on the board. And you
used it as a bit? You did a bit with Steve Martin in class?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like. I was
7 seconds away from this being over. And I was writing a math problem on the board, and some kid in the back or whatever. I can't see it. You're writing too light. Wow. That was my cue.
If it my was ever
cue, if you will, because I turned around and I did the whole thing. Well, excuse me, and I got the laugh.
Oh, you did. It did hit. It did land.
Yes.
As they would.
Thank God. But I say thank God in that moment. But unfortunately, it didn't land well with the teacher. And then from that point on, it was like I was just always getting in trouble because I'd put myself on the radar in a very big way.
Yeah, you did. You buddy, go big or go home, man. All right. Well done. Well done. If you're gonna do it, don't do it like don't do 50 little things that add up to her animosity toward you, the teacher. But you did one big right out of the box. Okay. This is how right. To let you know, this is how I can play.
I'm capable. This bit is hot and trending right now. They're laughing not just at me, but at also Steve Martin, who you don't even know who Steve Martin is.
No, this is pop culture, hon. This is look what the kids are wearing with the hair and the music.
And he's going to live so much longer than you are,
with a lot more money.
That's right.
Probably
he's friends with Martin Short,
right?
Who's friends with Jiminy Glick.
Who I never picked up on to the degree I think that you did. I think Jiminy Glick is one of your favorites.
He does make me laugh. Yes. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know why. I mean, there's just something about his. I think it's because, like, for Martin Short, it's just such a a way to be just say whatever the hell you want to say.
Well, but here's this for me. I go, he stays in character.
Yes.
It's work. That's mental gymnastics. You're tuckered out after you do that bit.
I can't even imagine. And you gotta commit. You
got to do it. That's
you have to commit
it's like doing a
so
play.
much. But also, I'd love to see him figure out a way to interview Martin
Karen's
Short.
Here. A quick hello before I go to bed. It's 1 a.m. where Karen's at, and Karen's with us today. So this is
Karen,
awesome.
that's nice of you. I don't know what the hell. Where is it 1 a.m.?
Well, it would be east.
Right, easter than you, more east than
4
you.
hours east, so somewhere 4 hours.
Oh, maybe UK somewhere. Oh, look at that! At the moment I said it, it came up. All right.
Look at that.
I don't know why I didn't. That's why
I knew we were international, but it's always nice to just have the affirmation that the lounge is open. We're open to
our
all
UK audience is 100% bigger than our American audience.
Well, they've been around longer.
That's right. And don't let anybody tell you different.
They're more cultured. Except I'm drinking tea. This is fancy tea, by the way, too. So, okay, the first week or two, the second week that I was at the new job, was that Buble? That's Michael's brand? Yes.
No.
He does spots for him, though. He does.
Does he really?
And they play on the name.
Okay.
It's a bit. I forget where I was. Oh, tea. So I was going to tell this tea story. So
thank God we getting back to this.
Well, no, it's not about that. It's my friend Allie at work. She pointed out when I first got to work, I talked about the fact I like to cook. I'm introducing myself to my new coworkers, blah, blah, blah. And I brought some folks some food. That was my introduction bit. I think I've told you that. Anyway, because of that, and that was about 2 months worth of work. Maybe a meal every 2 or 3 weeks, a sandwich here, a bowl of soup there. The point is, from that point on, people bring me food. And Allie always points out, she goes, scam. It was the best scam I've ever seen. You get more free crap. They bring you chicken. They bring you pie. Now, I made this at home. What do you think? I get all, and I never thought of it until she pointed it out. And it's true. So the other day, one of the young ladies said, I know you like tea. And she brought me this wonderful tea that I just, of course, like any good American, I went to Amazon and got some. And so this is New Fancy Tea I'm drinking.
That's the name of it? New Fancy Tea? It's New Fancy Tea?
No, I forget the name. New Fancy Tea.
New Fancy Tea.
Yeah, with a dash between the fancy tea. The tea is like a wrapper. So it's a dash letter T.
The chicken's got a certain... I forgot the word already. That is some major short-term memory. What was that?
You know what that is. You did, and you did it to yourself.
I Animal House myself. I will never forget that term.
No,
but I don't remember why we called it that.
But it was created, not invented. You can't invent something by putting two words together. But anyway, it was created on the lounge.
That's right. So when it's in the dictionary one day.
Yeah,
in the lexicon of today's youth, and people wonder, how did this ever get started? You know, some dude said it first, and somebody agreed, and then it happened.
It's like 420. Where'd that start? It's the same level of curiosity in the public psyche. Yeah,
exactly. It's the exact same thing.
It is. It's like, do you know where the 420 thing is? Some high school, I guess, in California, and the kids at 420 would just. Okay, we'll go. And like 3 days in a row, they probably went, hey, wow, same time every day. And they were stoned. And then it just caught on. But I heard all kinds of urban legends like 420 is the cop code for marijuana bust. And all that's BS. All that's bullshit. If we're getting a cease and desist, I decided to drop bullshit too. You know.
I think this, man, that sound effect always gets old.
Well, excuse me.
You should have saved that for a freaking 6:30, man.
Well, yeah.
Well, we got 16 minutes. I pretty much know what the out cue is going to be today if we can remember 17 seconds from now.
If Skippy can roll back the tape, we'll just run it again.
Skippy. So actually this week, a lot of this week was about the fact that Amber's cousin is in town and visiting. and it's our first visit here, and she's gonna be here a couple of days. And
from
Chicago or Michigan, whatever, up there.
Somewhere in the upper Midwest.
Chicago, yeah. And did you want the address? It's 66 Stel.
Mockingbird Lane.
Stel, Mockingbird Avenue.
Yeah. I said that to Randy the other day. I go, 1313. He goes, Mockingbird Lane. I go, thank God he's in the building because no one else. I think I told you I had to introduce Carlin. George Carlin.
Yes, that's kind of crazy.
And the guy I was introducing him to is sharp and funny, and I really like him. He's a great guy, and I couldn't. And a radio dude, I'm going, come on. But we're getting older.
You mean like seriously never heard of him?
Yeah, that is what I mean.
I can see like, oh yeah, I've heard of him. I think maybe I've seen a couple of things. I can see that.
Then he hears the voice and goes, oh yeah, I've heard that. No, I don't believe he. And then I've sent him several afterward, and he's totally enamored as he should be. It's not like he doesn't get it. He just never was introduced to him.
Wow.
But you know what? John Mulaney, I was like 6 years behind the 8 ball on him.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to follow it. And when we were that age, to your point, you were in 6th grade and you were following stuff like you watched Saturday Night Live. Now I was turned on to Steve Martin on LP. Literally an LP. Oak had Wild and Crazy Guy. And that's when I heard him before I saw him.
Yeah, I remember when, I guess Let's Get Small was the second one then?
I don't know.
Because I remember waiting for one to come out and it being a huge deal. And then after that, it was Comedy Is Not Pretty. And then there was the Steve Martin Brothers, and that's when it was half music, and that was that for the comedy.
Yeah, you know more about the anthology of his disc release.
I was way into it. He was like the Star Wars of comedians for me at that age.
Well, he was good. And to watch that, have you watched that whole thing? I think it's on HBO or Netflix. The two.
No, it's not on something. It's on Hulu or something I don't have.
Well, you had it, I think, when it first broke.
No,
it's Apple. I bet maybe it's Apple.
No, I didn't ever have it. Otherwise, I would have.
Well, anyway, it's good, and to watch how he crafted that whole thing is really interesting. And another one of those, I always call them Huey Lewis stories. Oh, yeah, it was overnight success. All of a sudden, Steve Martin was this big thing. No.
Right.
He, good night there.
I heard you. Now, you say good night. You can't turn it off. But look, I understand. It's just the nature of it. So you can say good night all night long, Karen, but I know you're going to be listening anyway. Hello?
Well, she can do the
replay. She's gone. Right. She's gone. All right. Now we can talk about her. So, Karen from the UK. All right, all right. Where were we? Week. What about your week? I mean, and so Halloween, right? It was Halloween, and I went to a Halloween party last week. Remember?
That soiree.
Oh, you were stuck again. You were stuck again.
Oh.
Yes.
I reached up on the soiree because you were going to be Bob from Beetlejuice.
That's correct. That is correct.
And that's all I remember.
Yeah. So. I won't get into all the details, but I think I remember telling you, I said we probably aren't even going to get there till 9:00, right? Which is past my bedtime, as people who know me know, or it is right around the time, but let alone getting ready to go start an evening. Cut to, we didn't get there till 11:15, and
that's like actually a New York party.
Yeah, it was. We got there. We walked in the door basically as it was breaking up and ending. There were so many little factors and we're 10 minutes away. It's I'm telling you, it's crazy. But it was still fine. And the thing is, I think we talked about it. They're big into games and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But we missed all that. I mean,
so there's that. They decorate. They really go all out. With the prep.
My God, man! I'm telling you, it is unlike any.
It's like a movie.
I've never personally anybody who's done that level on even close. And I think they do that for a few holidays, but maybe not. But definitely Halloween is their big one. So,
you know who does that at his house?
Jim Sly, I would imagine.
You bet. But yes, exactly, and that's the closest I can think. But the way you're describing this one, this is above.
Well, it takes their whole family to do it. That's for sure. It's a lot.
So you got there at 11.
11:15.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And anyway,
was it fun?
Well, we literally were in there for 15 minutes.
I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No. They were there. They know.
That's a fact.
Yeah. No, I mean, it was, and look, because Tracy had been working on 2 different events up to that point. She was at the end of everything. I'm past my bedtime. It just took a lot to get there at all.
Yeah.
And so they were, they were grateful that we showed up. We got to see them, and we didn't, I didn't have to play games and that kind of stuff. But anyway, it was nice though. It's just nice that we have friends like that who are fun. And let's see, I don't know. It was just another week in YouTubeville. Got up to 46,000 today subscribers.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
And I guess that's about it.
So you're relevant.
And did I tell you about the deal that I'm going to Madrid for?
You did not tell me you're leaving. You're going abroad. No.
All right, just briefly, and then we'll get back to you, because that's what they tune in for.
Jim Gaffigan says so.
A company reached out. A company reached out, and they had been watching me. I think maybe it feels like I told you this for a few months, and they decided they wanted me to do a course for them for their online educational platform, and they pay
course, not like a chorus.
A course. Here's how you do this in right, AI, a course, right? And they had originally reached out, I think, about podcasting and AI. And then we moved it to music and AI. But by the time we got to the planning session the other day, I was like, because it was like write your biography and make it relevant to what your course is. Well, we were going to talk about using AI in music, but I'm not a professional musician. I don't have a portfolio of and here's how I use it in my professional work. I have music experience. I know how cool this is. But anyway, we migrated it to now. I'm going to basically teach a course on that trailer we showed last week, how to do that, like from the beginning to end, conceptualize it. Yes, score it with AI and all kinds of different stuff. So what's cool about that is they pay for the development of the course, they pay for all the production, and I found out the other day that I get to do all the teaching part just sitting right here in this chair. And they'll do the rest, but they're going to fly me to...
they'll do all the post-production.
But they're going to fly me to Madrid for 3 days to do like the intros and other little pieces.
B-roll?
Like just stand-up, yeah. Easy stuff for me, right? So like that, I was more concerned about how am I going to stay smooth when they're watching me do what I do. I take a million cuts, it's just like... but I don't have to worry about that now. I'm just sending me on green screen, and then I go to Madrid for a few days and... have fun, I guess. Anyway, so that meeting was this week too. So anyway, that was my week.
Well, I don't ask you for much, but I will ask you when you go.
I know, for a refrigerator magnet.
That's correct.
Right.
Well done, Bob.
Jesus.
There's another.
Can't we have a weekend special?
Oh yeah, we haven't done weekend special, have we? My bad. I
can't remember if I have it. Nope. It's 61 degrees. That's right, 61 degrees here in Henderson, right here in the middle of the desert, just in case any of you believe that it's always sunny and 100. Nope, we're into fall now, and it's lovely. You get past Halloween here in Vegas, and this all the way up till about May. And it's just a wonderful place to live.
65 degrees and humid in Atlanta.
Yeah,
2 days after 2 days after Halloween. I was going to ask you about Halloween. Do you get a lot of trick-or-treaters? And B, second part to the question, do you mind going to the door and handing out treats to the kids?
So here's what happened. Amber and I traded it off because as it was, Tracy had a meeting. Right during the trick-or-treat hours. And we have an average amount, and we have we have this because we're at that cul-de-sac, so we're at the end of the cul-de-sac, and every now and then you can see it on the cameras, that watch this convergence of just everybody coming down to that
traffic.
But it was just like we ran out of
I guess
candy.
I was asking more personally. Do you like going to the door and handing out candy?
That was going to be part of.
Oh, okay.
It started with Amber and I took turns because everybody knows that's not going to be my favorite thing to do, and the reason is because if it's just little kids in costume proper, no problem. That's fun. I have such disdain for the teenagers who half-ass dress up or don't dress up at all. One kid, no costume, just with a group of friends. He just holds out his hand. Doesn't say a thing.
Get off my lawn.
I am telling you, that old man wanted to come out so bad. Yeah.
Although I saw a meme, okay, I saw a meme about that this year that said, hey, and it's not a joke actually, but it goes, hey, if you got the typical teenage kid who doesn't do exactly what you're describing, give them candy and don't bitch because they could be out robbing places or throwing eggs or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. I could be. Look, it was a kid. We had the supply of candy. I want the little kids who do the work to have the
put
candy.
In the time.
No, these kids can come door to door, but they should get trick. Not treat.
I read the other day that it was coins and something else they used to give out up until like the 30s or something. That they didn't even give out candy. Trick or treat, the whole concept, they would give out coins.
Big chocolate got involved.
Yes, Hershey. Communist.
They used to call it Hershey Ween. But then it became just way too obvious.
What are you supposed to be, lady? I'm supposed to be done by now. I got windows to soap and eggs to throw. So that was my one thing, reminding you also, Bob, to fall back tonight. We fall back, ladies and gentlemen.
No. I think this is at least the second time you have been the harbinger of that news for me because I don't pay attention.
Right.
And definitely in a row. You definitely told me the last time because I'm sure my reaction was the same.
I've hit the last three. I hit
we got to find
one spring.
Skippy, compile those.
Yeah, so I knew I would get
what
some
versions
sort of
me going, no, will you
see? Skippy, punch that into AI. It'll find it right away.
Punch that into AI. Okay, hold on. Let me just get onto AI
Copilot.
here. Punch that in.
Punch that into the Copilot.
That's right. I don't use Copilot.
I have Copilot at work. I rarely use it. In fact, it's so obvious when you see sentences that are written like Randy and I will get copy to proof. My buddy at work will get copy from other departments. Would you guys take a look at this? And I'll go, that sentence? And he goes, you're right. I mean, it's just got too much scent on it. It's too flowery.
You do get sensitive. It's like the music, too. It's like you can hear the AI music and you go, that's Suno, that's Udio. It's whatever, the singers, the style, just the whole feel of it. It's something.
I'm not saying it isn't cool. It's outstandingly awesome.
Agreed.
But I can.
But you can tell. Right.
It's just too formulaic. Is that a word?
Yeah. A lot of cliche writing styles.
Yeah.
And,
it's consistent. So the style stays consistent the whole time, and it's too heavy-handed to be that like for 60 whole seconds. It's just a little fly. It's nice. It's grammatically correct. I don't know.
There are versions, and there are finely tuned models that do a much better job. But if you just go to ChatGPT and say, write me ad copy about this other stuff with just you really got to train it more than that. What we wanted to do,
because I do a lot of finance companies. That's what we do in marketing. And so when you write, you have to be compliant.
Yeah.
Which is a whole new world for me.
That would be a pain. That would make me crazy.
I had the FCC and the FTC we dealt with in radio, but when you get over into the marketing end and you're marketing these financial people, there's compliance, there's other regs. And so I thought, well, if we can get it to write compliant copy, we may be onto something here. If I write my stuff and then just send it to have it, and
I think we talked about this.
It can do it because you have to have the rules. There's like 80 pages of our rules that we're trying, but it's still the copy comes out. I don't know, just a little. Like I said, a little too TOO. To what? Just two. It's just two. It's just I don't know it, and it doesn't really do the compliant thing either. It's at the very end. It'll give a disclaimer. No, that's not what I wanted, you lazy son of a buck. I wanted it to be compliant, so we don't need a disclaimer.
Right.
So I can use all 60 seconds of the airtime that someone paid for instead of saying, I'm sorry, but 27 seconds of your 60-second investment you don't get.
I won't say what podcast or what. I won't. You hung up again. I won't be specific, but there was a podcast ad for for a financial solution, and at the end of it, the disclaimer, who was read by the host of the podcast and was clearly coached to speak very slowly and deliberately. You got your typical disclaimer stuff, but one of them was like financial compensation was made to host to incentivize a positive review of the service. I'm like, wow, that's this.
Oh yeah, I mean, they get really sticky about endorsements.
I mean,
really
I can see paid compensation, but as incentive to be positive,
right.
It's like, wow, that's
right.
They're like you can't talk fast either.
It's a play. They're basically saying this is a play. That's what that copy is. That disclaimer is saying this was a play. It wasn't
I actually
real.
used this financial service that they talk about, so I hope it's not. But I think it's just like that's how careful you have to be. Yeah, it's
right.
just.
But you know what? On the other side of that coin, I mean, we're kind of making fun of it, but I will say this truthfully: it's protecting people because money. It's not like, oh gosh, I bought a paperweight and it wasn't what it was supposed to be. Okay, I'm out $8. I'm out $20. Whatever. But you'll hear these stories of financial people who, all the retirement, $300,000 gone. I'm working at Walmart. I'm glad someone's looking out for the little guy, I guess is what I'm saying.
Right. What was the thing we said we had to end with?
Steve Martin, excuse me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Bob really got a kick out of this tonight, boys and girls. He really did.
I can't bring myself to do it, though. I mean, we're late. We're running late.
You did it in 6th grade, I'll tell you, buddy.
I know.
That's outstanding.
It's trauma, though.
And, well, you've already been traumatized once when the lounge was open because, we're falling back. And you hate the time zone.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that does.
The time change thing, goofs with your noggin.
That's what she said.
And with those words, I am the hell out of here. I had enough of this foolishness. Thanks for nothing. They never paid me.
You've been watching The Lounge Show with Rob Scott and Bob Doyle. Join us every Saturday at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, and tell your friends and family to do the same. After all, we'd do it for you if you had a show. Probably.